Okay, today we're going to be going through how to use tags. And it's going to be an example of three displays that you can see here. And it is floors 10, 11, and 12 of a building. And imagine as you get off the elevator, there's a display per floor, and you want to display a floor number, something like that, on each floor. So instead of making three separate playlists, three wouldn't be bad, but if you had a 100-story high-rise, you wouldn't want to have 100 playlists just to put a number on the screen. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to come in here, and I've prepared a little bit of information here so we can be a little faster. So in the playlist, I made a floor ID, and I've made three images, floor 10, floor 10, 11, and 12. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here, and I'm going to right-click on each file, and I'm going to go to tags. And I come here, and there's no tags found, and now I'm just going to put, for ease, 10, and save. The important piece here is that when you type the number in, or words, it doesn't matter, you click the blue to actually save it. So then that's going to actually add that tag. And then you go to this one, we go to tags, I'll put in 12, click, and save. Now that just added tags 10, 11, and 12 to those pieces of media. Now this playlist is already assigned to these players for ease. As you can see here, now they're yellow. It's going to be synchronizing the tags down to the actual players. But I haven't added any tags to the actual devices. So for ease, again, I've labeled them so we can see where they're at. I'm going to go into 10 and I'm coming here. Now here's the important piece. By default, it plays tagged and untagged media. So I'm going to say include tags of 10. Now in the playlist, all of our media is tagged, right? We have three pieces of media. Each has a tag of something. So this one's going to say include tags. And we're going to come back to the ignore. In a moment, we're going to save that one. So the 10's going. We're going to go to 11. Do this one. We'll come here and include 11. I'm going to go to players, go to 12. And we're going to go to, say, 12. Now, in about 2 to 3 minutes, each of these is synchronized and come back green. So I'm going to pause, and we'll come back in a moment and see where we're at, and then I'll show you exactly what we're talking about. Okay, so now you can see everybody's green. Each of these have synchronized. And in the camera, you can see that 10 is just playing 10, 11 is just playing 11, and 12 is just playing 12. It transitions every 10 seconds, and you see nothing because it's only playing tags of the included type. So if I look at each of these, you can see that this one's playing building floors, floor ID. That's our playlist that we were playing, floor ID. Right? Everybody is playing the same exact playlist, but they only play back content, floor ID, right? They only play back content in which they're tagged for. And that was the include setting. So this one says include tags 12. Exclude tags would be if there was we're going to do another example. It says out of stock. So play everything except for things tagged out of stock, right? And I'll show you what this one's going to do, the ignore untagged media, in a moment. So now we have that going and we can see each one's there. Now imagine you're like, okay, but I would like in the playlist every floor to get a different piece of content, right? So it should play this, but alternate between this and something so that it doesn't become stagnant on the screen and burn in. So for demonstration purposes, I'm going to come into our content creation tool. I'm going to do a new project. I'm going to come here to screen, make sure we pick full HD or, UHD. At the top here, I'll just type, I don't know, horse. All right, let's see what we get. Great. Here we go. This one looks good. We're going to click that. We're going to turn this off, and we're literally just going to make it a picture of the horse. So we're going to click save. I'm going to pick the building floors, floor ID, and I'm going to say all floors. Save. Okay, so now we have an image here, all right? And if we look at the list view, you can see here that there's tags 10, 11, and 12, but this one is untagged. There's no tags on that. So ultimately, these players are going to decide what to do with that piece of content. Now we have to give it another 2 to 3 minutes for that image to synchronize down to all three. And then ultimately we'll see that this will rotate between floor 10 or 11 and 12 and that horse image that we just created. Okay, so things just synchronized and you can see they're all green. And now each of them are playing the horse image. And then it'll transition back to the individual floor. And I happen to have this playlist synchronized so you can see them transition together. So now you have unique content per floor, but then common things. So let's pretend that that's great, but this horse image is good, but we don't really want anything that's untagged to show up on the 12th floor. So that means we're going to go to the 12th floor. We're going to come in here. And we're going to say ignore untagged media. By doing that, what that's going to happen is the 12th floor, which is the rightmost image, once it synchronizes, will come back and it will ignore the horse image, but play the floor image. Okay, now that these synchronized, you can see that floor 12 is going to be just playing the image for floor 12, while the other two are playing horse and the floor. That's because floor 12 we configured for ignoring untagged media. When we go look at that playlist, just a reminder, right? This one has no tags. So 12 is going to ignore that, but 10 and 11 do not. So that's how you take and use tags, building one playlist that plays across multiple floors, and use it for simplifying how you roll out media.